Today we're going to learn how to change an outlet. So first of all, get yourself a flashlight. Find your breaker box. Some of you will be fortunate enough to have things labeled. This one is labeled, but not in any possible way that I could understand. So I did find out what outlet or which breaker I need to turn off, and I flipped that because I don't like getting shocked. A good way to make sure that that the outlet is off is, for one, you can get a tester and you just plug both those in there, and if that light's not turning on, that's a good sign that it's off. Or you can do something like plug a lamp in and keep flipping breakers until the lamp turns off. You're going to need a screwdriver, flathead, and Phillips probably. This one's both. This thing flips out. Some wire cutters, and of course, a new outlet. This is recommended, but not necessary. Start by taking the cover off. Boy howdy, that was in bad shape. Then you're going to remove this screw and this screw. Now just pull this guy out of the wall, and we're going to have to remove these wires back here. So now when you get this out of the wall, you're either going to see some screws on the side, like this one, or they're going to be these little pop-in pins. For these, you're going to stick a screwdriver into these little slots, and those should pop out. And then for the ground wire, you're going to have a little screw here that you need to undo. You just need to loosen it enough to get that ground wire unwrapped. So we have 4 different wires here. We've got our black wire, which is our hot wire. We've got our white wire, which is our neutral wire. That sends any extra electricity back to the breaker. You have our ground wire that keeps things from blowing, and you have your red wire, which a lot of outlets won't have this one, but in this case, this connects to a light switch, so I can turn this outlet on and off. With this new outlet, I'm going to go ahead and use the screws, but this also has the option to just pop the wires right in the back there. Thankfully with this, it tells you where to put the wires. So remember I said the black and red wires are hot, and then you have this one is the white wire, which is the neutral, and then your green screw is where that copper ground is going to go. I'm going to expose a little bit more wire here just so I have some extra to wrap around. Not too much, just another like ½ inch. You want to be careful you don't cut the wire. You're just going to kind of work around it, and that should just slide off. There we go. And now I'm going to twist that a little bit so it goes around the screw. Kind of like that. So you're going to put your black wire where it says hot. Tighten it down. Same thing with the red wire. Then we're going to go over here where it says white wire. Do the same thing. And then your copper wire is going to go around this green screw there. And that's going to ground the whole thing. Then finally, you're just going to kind of shove all those wires back in there, you know, nice and neat like. And then you're going to line up this screw with that hole, and same thing with the bottom. So after you get that pretty snug, you can actually, if you need to straighten it out, these holes for these screws are slotted, so you can loosen them up a little bit, push it one way or the other. But now we're just going to slap the cover back on. Now I'm going to plug a lamp into this and flip the breaker back on and see if it works. And we did it. Woohoo! Back to the outlet tester. You just shove both of those in your outlet there, and that light comes on to let you know it's hot and will shock you. Don't stick keys or forks in these. It's a bad idea. Thanks for watching. I like to make these videos because I think it's nice to have this kind of practical knowledge, because stuff like this is so easy once you know how to do it. Another one. So my good buddy Troy let me in on a fun fact here that I didn't know about. So with this black and red wire, I have to pull off this gold tab here to separate those two. So I'm gonna grab my needle nose pliers over here. I've already done it with that one. And I just have to break this off. I'm gonna do that to this one over here too. Now what that does is that separates these two, so when I flip the switch, it should turn these outlets on or off. So I'm gonna put everything back, and I'll be right back to you. Okay, so I have everything put back, and now for the moment of truth. Oh, it works! That's incredible. Thank you, Troy, for troubleshooting all that with me. This has been a very eventful and educational day. Well, after all that hard work of replacing outlets, it's time for my HelloFresh meal of beef and cheese tostadas, courtesy of Holly cooking tonight. If you want a discount code, message me.